You may have heard that there is a proposed caste discrimination bill in the process of being introduced into British law. As per the law, like, caste discrimination isn't adequately tackled by existing legal frameworks or legislation. What do you think of all this? I mean, do you think there's a necessity for an anti-caste discrimination bill in European society?
Well, I don't think so. Those Hindus who come here either have already shed caste, the sense of caste, or they are bound to do so here. Like, for instance, I know a Brahmin immigrant, who wanted his daughter to marry, perhaps, hopefully a Brahmin, but otherwise somebody from a high caste. Now, when she grew up and became of marriageable age, she ended up marrying an Indian, but a Reddy, who are neither Vaishyas nor Kshatriyas nor Brahmins. They are technically not a high caste. So it had already come to this point that the family made no problem with this. They were already happy enough that he was Indian. So you see, the sense of caste is disappearing, and quite fast. In India a bit slower, but also because all people are doing the same things, are watching the same games, are watching the same television, meet each other on the bus, at work, compete for the same jobs. So, and culturally they are becoming more and more the same. I mean, in the past, every caste was a nation. They had a different dress, you can recognize them by far. They spoke a different dialect, they had their own music, they had their own cuisine. So they were very different. Now culturally they are all becoming the same. So the necessity of caste is fast disappearing. So what I also have against this bill is that it is unhistorical. It takes the view, the same as in India, which is very moralistic. It says, oh, you see, the evil Brahmins imposed caste on Indians. As Dr. Ambedkar said, okay, he said of many things, and I dare say they were, but to impose caste on everyone, they did not have the metal. If everybody practiced caste, it was because everybody did, because everybody wanted to, not because it was imposed on them. The Marxists have an economic explanation for caste. For example, Shirin Ratnagar, a Marxist historian, says that in Vedic society, the material conditions for a caste system did not prevail, and therefore caste did not exist. Even though, of course, there was a certain family loyalty and so on. But the later caste system did not exist yet. So gradually it grew. We see, for instance, in the Ramayana, that Rama has good relations with tribals in the forest, does not see them as a different caste. Later, when the Ramayana is complete, an extra book is added to it, Uttarakhand, where Rama becomes responsible as a king for maintaining the caste system, and then he punishes Shambhuka, the Shudra, for practicing Brahmin lifestyle, Brahmin rituals. So that has been added to it, because by that time caste had already become stronger. So caste is a historical institution. It has a history. First it was not there, then bits and pieces of it were there, then it was there in its fullness, and then again it started disappearing through westernization, through new economic developments, through the influence of Mahatma Gandhi, through also the influence of the Hindu movement, because of course there are a lot of bad things you can say about the RSS, the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangha, a nationalist Hindu movement, but at least it's a caste-free movement. It encourages a caste-free interaction among its members, and it has been fairly successful at that. So, and other influences too, Ambedkar of course. So you see, many things have happened to the sense of caste, and it has made it disappear. On the other hand, other factors have made it stronger. First of all, the British. You see, and that is another factor in this British law against caste. The British should realize that they themselves have something to do with it, in two ways. By codifying caste by making caste an item in the census. They strengthened the sense of caste identity among Indians. Secondly, England itself was an equal society. It was not exactly like the caste society in India, but still you see the English class system was very stratified, which is also of course why the English had no problem with institutionalizing caste in India, because they were used to an unequal society. And for example, one consequence is during independence, the British accepted that Maharajas, princes of princely states, would personally choose whether to join India or Pakistan. And that was even under a Labour government. It would have been worse under a conservative government. So you see, they really practiced inequality because they were steeped in inequality at home. And so they are really not in a good position now to berate about caste. And so the object of this law is simply to hurt Hinduism, to make Hinduism the scapegoat for the caste system. And Hindus, of course, Hindu organizations in England have really neglected their duty by not opposing this law. You see, to some extent they are responsible for the fact that this law can be passed.